Hey everybody, how you going? Okay, so I'm here today to show you a quick tutorial on you saw probably the little flip book that I made last time to store all my symbols and intuitive scripting, etc. into. This one is for my embellishments, all the things that we use in pages or just ideas, and I forget what I have, and I don't know whether anyone else is the same, but I have like lots of storage around me and lots of drawers and little drawers and things, and I forget actually what's in them because they're not all clear. Some of them are, but not all of them. So what I decided I'd do was just make this little flip book and put one of everything sort of on it, just to remind me when I'm doing something, a journal page or a piece of art or whatever, what I've got, what I can do, what is, in what I have in storage. And also I've got a couple of different, I've got my printables, but I've also got some different kind of prints behind them too, just to remind me of the jelly printing and so forth. So this is what this was. And I just wanted to, I made this slightly differently because I knotted everything in between, so there was a gap for things so that it still kind of worked. So I just wanted to show you how to do that if that's something that you would like to do. I just have them on my desk now. I have 4 of them, and I will show you the other 2 and what I use those for eventually, but this is the second one, and so they just sit on my desk now, and they're very, very cute. And okay, so we just need a piece of cardboard. It's not a big thing. This is a piece of cardboard off a box of a delivery of whatever. I think the most crucial part is finding some sort of card stock. This is 180 GSM card water paper that I've got, and it allows me to, if I fold it into 3, it allows me to have these 3 lovely pieces. So really that's what this one's going to be. So I'm just gonna make it to my paper, if you know what I mean. So I want to make this a little bit longer because it kind of gets longer as you put the stitches through. So I'm going to make this wide. It's about probably 10 centimeters on each end. Not so much at the side, but at the end. It's about 10 centimeters on each end, larger than the paper itself. It's not rocket science, really. You can lay the paper down, one of the pieces of paper down, and just work it out from that. So if that's there, obviously the other side would be about there. And if you get a nice ruler and just draw a line, then everything should not nicely line up. Then we'll just cut it with a Stanley knife. I mean, I've got enough here to make another one in the future. Now this is actually a little bit this card is a little bit thicker, and the reason I want to make it a little bit thicker is I actually want to make a spine. I'm going to make a spine for it. So this particular piece of cardboard is 23 and a half. So I'm going to use that half to actually make the spine with. It doesn't have to be a large spine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 11.5 on either side, like so. 11.5, and I'm going to put 11.5, just a couple of little dots to line it up. and then I'm just going to draw a pencil mark down there. Then I'm just going to score. I'm not actually cutting it, I'm just using one of my sharp, it's like a pin head, and that's just going to score that so that that actually goes in, folds in nicely like so. Okay, so then I was going to get what I'm using, my Asian rose, I think these are called Rose Asian Grunge pages. Rose, oh, Asian, I can't remember actually what they're called. They're rose ones anyway. Excuse me. Now the funny thing about it, I printed them off differently. I printed one on my, mine's an inkjet printer, and I printed one on good quality, high quality, and one printed on standard. And actually, the standard is more rose gold than the other one. The other one has gone slightly browner. So if you don't want that, yeah. So I'm going to use that side for the front. And it's probably, again, you know, it's just going to be 10 centimeters all the way around that you need to kind of measure. Good 10 centimeters. And the reason I use this is because it lines up my lines for me without me having to do the ruler, and you know, makes life easier. So we're just going to line that up. Like so. And then we're going to cut it out. Okay, so that's that. Well, actually, I might leave that there. It's probably easier for you to see. Perfect. So I'm going to glue this down now. So you don't really need to watch that. So I'll be back when I've just glued it down. All right. So using bone folder, press it down beautifully like so. And then I just get scissors and just cut those little corners off. Then I glue down the side. Like so, fold it over, press it down. Okay. Just make sure they're all beautifully pressed down. Give it a nice fold. That's going to be the front of this one. Alright, and I've got a piece of silk to go in as the tie, and we're going to, now one printable on this particular one is not big enough, so you actually have to print two, or you could use another kind of printable that you've got, which I might do actually, since I printed these out different sizes, as you can see. So this is a full page and then this is a half page, so that's kind of fun. I might actually utilize that on there. Might just trim that up a little bit, make sure it's all, because I've ripped it. Righto. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm actually going to no, I think I'll stick with the same one, but a miniature. So I'm measuring it up basically to completely cover the whole inside too. So I will do that and then I'll be back. So I'm back. Hi again. All right. So we have the cover with its spine, and we have as many pieces of these. I mean, you could make them into signatures, I suppose, but into like 3 maybe at a time. If I had 3, I thought I had 3. Where'd the other one go? I have to make some more. There it is. I'm probably only going to put 9 pieces into this particular little book. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to measure, putting it in the middle, and I think, I mean, I might put 3, 1, 2, 3. I think that to me looks like it would hold really well. So it's there, there, and there, and there is no measurement. I mean, you know, they're probably an inch, I would imagine. What is that? It's like 10 centimeters in, and yeah, 30 centimeters and 30 centimeters. So 10 on each end and 30 centimeters in the end. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to put holes into all of these, the cardboard. Move that to the side. The cardboard where now if you have a hole punch, you could use a hole punch, okay? If you don't have a hole punch, you can just use a big needle and a rubber underneath it like this. Alright, I do have a hole punch and I could do that, but I feel not everyone has got those. So, you know, it's probably easier to use tools that you actually do have. So I go both sides though. This is a very old rubber. I'm not... So I go in from both sides, opening up that hole a little bit more. Like so. And then that's done. And then these would all get the same. So if you were doing 3 at once, you would line them up however you want. And on that seam, exactly the same thing. Ooh. Now, a lot of people actually clip them together so they don't move. So, you know, you can do them a lot easier that way. Okay. Both sides. Alright, so obviously they're all made like that. Then I have a piece of, this is waxed thread. Okay, I'm back. So we have the card. Now, with this one it's a little bit different. I have decided that I'm going to put beads on the end of, on the outside of this one. So it's just any thread. This is waxed thread that I use in jewelry making, but you can use any thread. And I put a bead on. So there's actually going to be 3 beads on this. So each one, and I'll just show you. I thread the bead on. I know you know how to thread a bead on, but then I double knot it. So that's like a knot. The cord goes around twice, and then you pull it down as far as you can. Okay, it's a very sturdy jewelry knot. Alright, so then we're going to thread these on a very big needle, and we're just going to whack these through these holes that we made, like so. And the third one, and this is a very, very simple way of making a book like this. And I've chosen 3, and the reason I've chosen 3 is because in this one I only had 2, and when I added all my embellishments that I've made or use in my work, it became quite sort of unstable, because there's only 2 knotted pieces in the middle. Not that that matters for me, but I thought really, so you could just make it with 2 and leave it at that. But if you want to make it with 3, then this is how to make it. And I like the idea of having those little beads at this end. I haven't decided what I'm putting as a closure here, but I really like that idea. So this is pretty simple. I mean, I'm not going to do all of them, obviously, because I'd be here till forever. And you don't need to see me do the same thing over and over again. But what you're doing is, if you need to thread the needle, these holes I've made are actually quite large, and maybe a little bit too large actually, but that's okay. I'll deal with that for this purpose. So you thread each page on, and pull and do a knot. Like so. Pushing it down. Sure that's right near the edge. Pull it down, and then you just go to the next page. And as I said, if you can't thread them through by hand, then do get the needle and do that. I like to thread the 3 of them through first before I knot. It just makes life easier this side, like so. And this one's a bit fray, so then we put the knot. Now, one knot. Fiddly for the knots. But for the purpose that I want this book for, not that I've made any more embellishments lately, but I do come up with new ideas all the time of what I use in my work, and I do like to have, as I said, them on hand, so as a reminder tool. So that's actually what they look like. The knots, my pages are not even, but that's fine. They don't have to be even. These are just ripped, these ones. They're not actually measured. So this is what it will look like. As you can see, there's that lovely little gap between them. So even if you used it as a collaging book, you know, you'd be able to build it up quite a lot and not have it buckle in any way, because it's got that knot in between. So I'm going to add the rest of my pages in and make these pages, because I haven't even ripped these yet with my ruler, but I will, and add them in. I quite like the ripped look, not so much the cut look, but that's my choice. You can make them and do them however you like. And I will be back. Okay, so I'm just folding these inside and measuring them the same, doing exactly the same as before. Okay, I'll be back and then I'll be finishing it. Alright, hi. I always get carried away, don't I? So I did the, without turning the video on, sorry. So I've done all of the pages, and as you can see, they're all got that lovely gap. And when I did put an eyelet in the front of mine, so I'm just going to tie this piece of silk on, I think, and to close it. That's one thing I'm going to do. And the other thing I was going to do was just add this embellishment that I've got, which is one of my bronze embellishments that I've made, and I might hang something from that later. But you might, now when you've you see how it's coming, they're coming over, so that is because of the knots within inside. So all I do for that is get your cutting board and lay it down like so, and line them all up, because they are all nice now, and just even them all up. Have to sort of cut one by one nearly, like that, and then once you've done that, so you can either use a closure like just tucking it under, which I quite like, the idea of just tucking it under. It is a little bit bigger than my other ones, but it will stand with its little beads and everything. It will stand in my group quite nicely, and oddly, being a different height, I will be able to tell, you know, like, because it's so different, it'll remind me of all the different things I have in each one. So that is that. I will finish, as I said, I will finish it off. I don't know whether I'll tie that on the end or the end. This little end, or whether I'll tie it on the big end, but I'm thinking it's this little end it will go on, I think, if I've left enough silk to play with. Alright, and this is just stuff I've got lying around. I mean, seriously, you could use anything. Right, okay. Alright, that's that. I probably, as I said, will add a bit more to it. Thanks for watching. I'd love to see your little books. I think they turned out really cute and wonderful. You could use them as small collage travel journals, actually, you know, especially because they've got that gap in them, so the collage would sit pretty well. And they also, you know, they're not thick, so yeah. Anyway, all the best, take care, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.